It has begun. We are in for an absolute reboot in the next few days. That's why I was not surprised when the last few days I was flooded with messages from people who have worked with people in my community, actual current clients. People are completely off their rocker. They have the feeling they're really standing beside themselves. The typical reports were they had a feeling like cotton in the head, disassociation, no more energy, the feeling of getting sick without really getting sick, dizziness, nausea, total exhaustion, old feelings coming up, even things that they had thought they had dealt with a long time ago. Current clients of mine feel as if they're right back at the beginning of their process. So, all in all, it's quite scary, it's disturbing, and people don't know what to expect and what is happening. Also, there were a lot of people who reported about weird, strange dreams, unusual dreaming that they're not used to. But in particular, fear, anxiety, the feeling of not being able to cope and being overwhelmed with everything is at the top of the list. Though this is a collective worldwide phenomenon. And that's why I'm making this video here, to tell you that you're not alone and that it's not you who is creating that chaos inside you. There's another big collective jump in consciousness happening right now. We're going through another gate, and again, we have to leave some of our baggage behind. Stay tuned to hear all the details about what is going on and listen until the end to receive some tools to help to master the transition as smoothly as possible. So, what is this all about? We are experiencing a sequence of powerful energies from March 7th to March 25th. Astrological realignments, a strong full moon, a series of portal days, and with the new moon, the beginning of spring, the equinox, a transformation that carries an incredible amount of energy to us. On March 7th, there was a strong full moon that dropped even people of sleep who are not normally that sensitive. The same day, Saturn moved into the sign of Pisces and will stay there for the next 3 years. This means that the topic of water will accompany us in various forms for the next 3 years. Major events are expected. Just today or yesterday, there was a report that the largest glacier in the Antarctica, also called the Doomsday Glacier, is about to break off. It is literally hanging on by a fingernail to the edge. It is the largest glacier in Antarctica with an area of the size of Florida. So imagine if that breaks off. The global sea level could rise up to 10 feet, scientists say. So this is a major thing that is supposed to come quite soon. And that is just one example of possible natural events to come. But this video here is about how the developments directly affect you as a human being. You may be aware that emotions are stored in water. Dr. Masaru Emoto has developed a method that makes visible what sensitive people felt since a long time. Water is not just water, but can have different vibrations. Accordingly, the water drops photographed under the microscope using Emoto's methods show either strikingly beautiful, regular structures or irregular, incomplete ones, depending on the emotions that they're representing. Every emotion holds a certain crystal form. And when you know emotions are stored in water, just as the water is stored in our bodies, so when stimulated by the change of Saturn into the sign of Pisces, the water energy in our body starts to move. And the emotions that are actually kept and stored in the water in us also start to move. But why do only extremely heavy and difficult emotions come up? It is because emotions are actually just energy in motions. These energies have only one goal. They flow through our body from the bottom to the top and then leave us. You can imagine like a helium balloon in a house that floats up from the basement, through the staircase from floor to floor, and then disappears through the roof opening. With positive feelings like joy, happiness, love, we have no problem to let them freely move through us. We know that a joyful moment does never remain with us. We feel it, we let it run freely through our body, and then let it go. Heavy, or as we humans say, negative emotions are quite the contrary. We don't want to feel those, and we certainly don't want to let them run uncontrolled through our bodies. So what do? We go into resistance and push the helium balloon down, holding it tight and encapsulating it so we don't have to feel this difficult emotion. And then when such a powerful water energy starts to moving, all the dark feelings are released, and what happens next? We are suddenly flooded by our old fears, resistances, sadness, but also anger, frustration, and so on. Just everything we originally avoided to feel and hid in the body. And this is exactly what is happening now and throws so many people off balance. You are suddenly forced to look at the old, to feel it, and it can no longer be brought under control, nor can it be repressed. When you feel that your limits are pushed, you just know that this only happens so that you learn to go beyond your limits and evolve. And when you understand this, it doesn't necessarily get easier or better, but it helps you understand that it's only a temporary feeling. It's not a regression or that you're falling into old patterns. It just means that the emotion bubbles, the little helium balloons, have released and are now floating freely through your body to leave you forever. And this is what you need to focus on. Before any expansion, there's always like a contraction. That's where you are right now. Allow the contraction and focus on the expansion that comes after. This will help you to take the whole situation with more ease. The contraction is necessary so that you can leave things behind, everything that doesn't fit through the gateway. It will literally be squeezed out of you, so to speak. We had also the portal day on March 13th, which was perfectly for this purpose. It was there to be grateful for experience we had in the past, people we have met, and it was to stop holding onto the past and allow ourselves to let go of everything that no longer suits us. Because holding on costs you too much energy, which you need right now to be able to let go of those old feelings. And then the second portal day on March 17th will get your energy moving. That which previously stood still and laboriously moved through you will now be released. You can help jumpstart the energy by moving your body that day. Perfect, it's also a Sunday, so you can really use that day to get your body moving. Get into action. For example, take a long walk or go for a bike ride. Use the special energy of today to bring your inner self outward. On March 2021, we have 3 energies coming in. That of the new moon, which always represents a new beginning, the beginning of spring, and the equinox. And on top, the new moon is also in the sign which also creates a new beginning in the first house. On this day, the energies will pick up even more speed. The peak at this moment is March 23rd. On this day, Pluto will enter the sign of Aquarius for the first time ever. Well, ever in that circle. The age of Aquarius was already mentioned in the 60s, or was it the 70s? It was sung, in the movie Hair, where we sing about the age of Aquarius. And we are blessed to be able to directly witness this transition and the entry into that sign. And this is the absolute moment of change. We are beginning a new era, but do not expect a massive event on the outside. The upheaval always takes place within you first. The energies are pushed, and at some point the whole thing will manifest itself on the outside. But you will notice, and this has been noticeable for some time, that people are suddenly opening up. They want to understand, why are we here? Where are we going after death? They want to evolve and understand the bigger picture. And that's actually because Pluto, you always have a choice with the astrological signs. You always have a choice whether you want to go and evolve or just resist. But when Pluto comes in, you have no choice. Pluto is like a tsunami and takes you with. And that's what is happening now. Pluto entering into Aquarius, you have no choice. There is no going back, no return. We're all moving forward if you want to or not. It can be quite painful if you go into resistance. So we have been preparing for the new time for a long time. Little by little, our energy centers had been adjusted from the bottom up, because you cannot just change the whole body in once. It would not take it. The last 2 years have been about the throat chakra after we opened our heart before that. The next chakra, the throat chakra, was about finding our own personal expression and truth, to be able to express yourself authentically and without fear, and to feel who is telling us the truth and who we can trust or not trust. And we know now how this has been counteracted in order to confuse us, to unsettle us and throw us off balance the past 3 years. Many people had problems with their throat over and over again for a long time. Hoarseness, dull throats, a feeling of tightness, and all without medical evidence could be seen in the collective. The throat chakra has opened and has been renewed and evolved. The throat chakra is the fifth chakra and is connected to the fifth level of the human energy field. This is the causal plane, the blueprint for our physical body. The fifth plane, our body, has also been evolved that we can restore our original crystalline body. So we have to really create a new body inside us, which is more crystalline and less the old 3D concept. And with Pluto entering the sign of Aquarius, this development is more or less complete. Of course, it will still go on. And now we come to the sixth chakra, the third eye, and the celestial plane. And more people will open their third eye and awaken. There will be kind of a mass awakening in the next years. And this will help us to move with the earth and into the fifth dimension. Maybe you already sometimes notice a pressure on your forehead between your eyes right here. This is a typical sign that your third eye wants to open up. Even if on the 24th and the 25th of March, we have still two rather restless portal days awaiting us, the biggest leap has been made for the moment. The plateau has been reached, and at least for the moment, we are allowed to rest a little bit after tremendous achievements, and we can really come to a rest. As I said before, there is no turning back. The change is coming, the change is happening. This new time is making its way, and it can no longer be stopped, luckily. What can you do for yourself to actually smooth better through that transition? The most important thing, which I always emphasize, like prayer mill, is to practice Hara. I actually put the link in the video description so you can look at it and practice it for yourself. Hara is really the most important step to bring it into absolute presence. The second is breathe. You can bring your whole system into stillness just by breathing properly. When you control your breath, you control your heartbeat, you control your blood pressure, the release of stress hormones, and therefore your nervous system. You can get yourself into a calm, balanced state relatively quickly through, for example, the 4x4 breathing. Third, don't go into resistance. When a feeling comes up, mentally take a step back and become a loving, neutral observer. Observe where the energy is coming from, where in the body the emotion is showing up. Maybe in the liver, maybe in the stomach, or it can be anywhere, maybe in the throat. And maybe you can even relate it to a situation in your life. Say thank you for the feeling then, for showing up, and when you're ready, just say goodbye and let it go with love. Number 4 is take time out in your daily life. Listen to your body. Every single cell in you is being renewed and evolved. This takes a lot of energy, and your body will show you when it needs a break. In that case, rest without any guilt, because the body needs it, and let the body do its work. Stay confident that everything is happening right now has its higher purpose and will help you and serve you in the end.